The natural progression from the first house is the second house in astrology. It's material things, financial things, possessions, self-worth, self-esteem, income, stuff, the lending and borrowing of things, material desires, liquid assets, investments, budgeting, charity, also what grounds you. It's things that come back to you. It's how you spend your money. It's everything we own. It's desires of our emotions. It's needs. It's sometimes even skills. In ancient astrology, it's also the process of buying property. The second house is often referred to as the gates of Hades as well, because if the first house has the rising line where the sun comes out and oh, it's all shiny up here, the second house is right at the end of darkness. This is nighttime. This is Hades, this is the underworld, this is things that are hidden. And so the second house is the end of the darkness right before the sunrise. Maintaining that same poetic language with the second house being in the dark where the sun cannot be seen, your value system is something that no one can really tell you what it is. No one can see it unless you express it or manifest it. That is something deeply intimate and personal to you. Your relationship with your self-esteem and your self-worth is uniquely yours and only experienced by you. The main theme of the second house is I have. Anything you value. That includes your self-worth, that includes your things. So when transits happen to your second house in the sky, unless there's something indicating that is specifically towards physical things, it usually is reflected in your values. Whatever you value is going to be impacted. And if in that moment you are really focusing on your physical material goods, that's where you're going to probably see it manifest. You are prioritizing and focusing more on your values of belief or values of relationship or values of things that ground you on a more spiritual level, you're going to see it reflected in that sense. Because the second house is your blankets, it is your food, it is your house, it is the things that you own, but it's also your sense of self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-value. This theme of the second house, value, period. As vague and as broad as it is, it encompasses everything of value to you specifically. So if you have a second house stellium, Google tells you it means you're great with money and you love making money, and that's just not true for everybody. It might be true for you, it might not be true for you. What is going to be true is there's going to be a focus on value in your life. What do you value? It's going to add this energy of authenticity to where you're not going to do something unless you value it. You're not going to invest in something unless you find value in it. You're not one to just go and do something unless it really inspires you on a core level of this is really special to me. Can be translated into finances and money and material things, but not always. If it does manifest in physical material things, it's going to be because you value the importance of taking care of things, taking care of your money, taking care of your investments. And whenever you have that attitude, it builds naturally. And so there's this natural preservation towards maintaining something's value because, again, second house is what is it worth to you? You value yourself, you're going to invest in good food, comfortable clothes, nice things. Not because you are materialistic, but because you value you. In that same breath, if you don't have a healthy relationship with your second house, you're going to believe that you don't deserve good things, you don't need good food, you may not prioritize comfort or material things or money. So as we progress from the first house, which is our first moments of life, it's our relationship with our body, the second house extends from that, and as we start to get a little older, maybe into our toddler phase, we start to figure out, hey, I like this flavor, I like this texture, I don't like this thing. I like how this feels, I like how this tastes. These are my toys, these are my things. You start to develop a sense of self. The first and the second house are very selfish because it's you. It's what you want, it's what you like, it's what you're collecting, and that's a necessary part of developing into a healthy, well-rounded human. You have to first establish your own foundation of this is me, my body, my things, and my system of worth and value.